Sandwiched in between California to the south and Washington to the north, the spectacular and rugged coastline of Oregon is easily accessible along the Pacific Coast Highway 101. Come with us as we travel a 363-mile coastal highway in search of incredible wildlife and unsurpassed views. Once common along rivers, lakes, and coastal wetlands over much of North America, the northern river otter has unfortunately disappeared from many areas due to habitat loss and water pollution. The Port Orford harbor was the only location we found these incredible marine mammals. The much larger harbor seals may appear lazy as they haul out or loaf on coastal rocks and sand pits, but several important functions are in fact taking place. They are safer from predatory sharks, can regulate their body temperature, shed waterborne parasites, and rest. The blubber helps streamline the seal's body, making it easier to glide through the water. These seals appear to be having a good time engaging in social interaction after resting. Back on dry land, we found these female elk not far off the highway. Named wapiti by Native Americans, elk have light brown rumps and dark brown legs, belly, and head. Males have a shaggy neck mane and antlers that extend back from their heads. This western pocket gopher is busily expanding its burrow, while at the same time aerating the soil, thus encouraging plant growth. The western pocket gopher has a range that is limited to northwestern California, western Oregon, and isolated areas of western Washington. The foothill yellow-legged frog is a stream-dwelling amphibian found only in Oregon and California. Unfortunately, this frog has rapidly declined and even disappeared across this limited range, mainly due to habitat destruction, water diversion, and pollution. The only other amphibian that we found was this rough-skinned newt with its distinct yellow belly. North America's largest heron, the great blue heron, typically wades slowly and then stands statue-like, stalking fish and other prey. It uses its thick dagger-like bill to spear fish, frogs, turtles, rodents, and even small birds such as rails. Western gulls were by far the most common gull we found along the coast. Breeding adults can be told by their white, large heads, yellow bills with the red spot, and pinkish legs. South of Monterey, California, the adults have darker backs and paler eyes. The American crow is one of the most familiar and widespread birds in North America and can be found in a wide variety of habitats. These birds are searching for some lunchtime clams washed up by the incoming ocean tide. We found that the highly variable song sparrow to be common and widespread along the coast, especially in dense thickets and streamside vegetation. Some of the other birds that we found include this peregrine falcon, California quail, California gull, bush tit, Swainson's thrush, and the somewhat secretive wren tit. Found along northern woodlands and western streamside habitats, the golden-colored upper wings of the Satyr Comma are stunningly distinctive. This individual is slowly spreading its wings to catch the last warming rays of the afternoon sun. This image of the camouflage underwings look like a dead leaf when the wings are closed. Note also the white comma. We also found the Anise Swallowtail, common wood nymph, gray hair streak, and the Woodland Skipper. The band-winged Meadowhawk can be identified from similar-looking dragonflies by the extensive orange-brown patches at the base of its wings. This individual is somewhat worn and faded, indicating that it might be nearing the end of its life cycle. Found along shallow, marshy ponds and lakes, the red-veined meadowhawk is named for its red-veined wings. This bright red male is perched low on vegetation, possibly watching for a browner female to mate with or a passing insect to feed on. The Bison Snaketail has a very restricted range limited to southwestern Oregon and northern and central California. It favors swift rocky streams bordered by willows and forest areas. This individual was gorging on an insect it had just caught. The 8-spotted skimmer was by far the most numerous dragonfly that we found. This unmistakable skimmer can be identified by the 2 big black spots on each of its forewings. Other dragonflies that we found include this blue dasher, Pacific Clubtail, and dot-tailed Whiteface. The Pacific Forktail was the most numerous damselfly that we found along the coast. This species inhabits areas of abundant dense vegetation at lakes, ponds, and marshes across the western North America. The only other damselfly we found was this pair of northern or boreal bluets. Known in Europe as guillemots, common Murres nest in dense colonies on top of steep, rocky islands. Once the chicks have fledged, common Murres spend the winter at sea. When you see these large erks all gathered together, it is easy to see why some people could mistake these birds for penguins. One could argue that they are the equivalent of the penguins of the Northern Hemisphere. The similar-looking Pigeon Guillemots have black bodies with the distinct white wing patches and orange-red feet. They are a common breeder along the Pacific coastline from Alaska to California. Birds from Washington, Oregon, and California typically migrate north for the winter. Unlike the common Murres, Pelagic Cormorants prefer to nest in small loose colonies on steep cliffs and rocky islands. Breeding birds have a small red facial patch that can be difficult to see, but its glossy black plumage should help distinguish the species from other similar-looking cormorants. Look closely and you will see this preening pair with an egg in their nest. The slightly larger Brandt's cormorant can be told by the pale puffy patch on the throat. Only during the breeding seasons do these birds also show the bright blue chin patch. These cormorants appear to be panting and are in fact fluttering their throats to regulate body temperatures. The only sea ducks that we found were this raft of surf scorters swimming in the surf. Although this species is most numerous along the Pacific coast in winter, a few non-breeders do spend the summer along the west coast. We were surprised at how many birds we saw towards the end of July, doubting that they were all non-breeding birds. The majestic osprey is a master fisherman both along the coastal areas and inland lakes and reservoirs. Even though this osprey is content on his latest catch, competition can be bothersome, as the occasional western gull will try to sneak a quick freebie. Although the bald eagles like to eat fish, sometimes stealing it from ospreys, it will also eat carrion, including roadkill. This particular bird has drawn the attention of several hungry turkey vultures and a western gull, none of which are daring to challenge the much larger eagle. The distinctive black oystercatcher has a blackish body with yellow eyes, flesh-colored legs, and a long reddish-orange bill. It uses its chisel-shaped bill to pry or break open shellfish. It is a year-round resident along coastal rocky areas along the Pacific coast from Alaska to Baja California. A common year-round resident along the Oregon coastline, the unmistakable Cedar Waxwing can be found in small flocks anywhere where fruits and berries are in abundance. Cedar berries are a particular favorite in winter, hence the namesake. The Cedar Waxwing also supplements its diet by eating a wide variety of insects. One of our final stops along the coast was Haystack Rock at Cannon Beach. This is the most reliable location to see tufted puffins in Oregon, and we saw quite a few individuals flying back and forth from the rock. Other birds that we also photographed include turkey vulture, Steller's jay, marsh wren, common yellowthroat, and brewer's blackbird. In 1967, the Oregon Beach Bill was enacted. This important bill allows public access to the entire Oregon coastline and provides crucial protection of all wildlife. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. Remember to subscribe if you'd like to follow future episodes of Advennature. Also, please share this video with family and friends who may be interested in travel and wildlife.